everybody. Welcome to another episode of Coming Up Milhouse, where today we have Vinny joining us. And who knows how long that's going to last, but he's taking over the table at the moment, so we'll just let him do that. And George has put together a clip show of the couch gags in the first 10 seasons of the Treehouse of Horror episodes. So it's been a while since I've watched them. We've talked about these episodes, but we haven't specifically focused on the couch gags, which are my personal favorite part. So we are going to watch, you're going to watch our reactions to these clips, I guess, as we're filming. And then we're going to talk about our favorites.
That is correct, yes. We've dabbled in the Treehouse of Horror for a while now, but like you said, we usually been glossing over the opening vignettes of them, and a lot of them turned into couch gags. And I thought, why not? Let's just examine those. So we're going to do the Treehouse of Horror 1 through 10 couch gags, and I think it sounds like fun. So let's kick it off. I'm going to play the first one. We'll watch it, and then Gail and I will talk about what we think. So let's go with it.
Hello, everyone. Halloween is a very strange holiday. Personally, I don't understand it. Kids worshiping ghosts, pretending to be devils. Things on TV that are completely inappropriate for younger viewers. Things like the following half hour. Nothing seems to bother my kids, but tonight's show, which I totally wash my hands of, is really scary. So if you have sensitive children, maybe you should tuck them into bed early tonight instead of writing us angry letters tomorrow. Thanks for your attention.
It is really exciting. I remember when this first aired, and back then it was exciting to get a holiday themed special like the Peanuts.
Right.
Of course,
right.
You would look for that and be excited, look at the TV guide and be like, "Ooh, okay, the Peanuts are going to be on at 8:00 on Wednesday night. Got to make sure I'm there to watch that special because it's like tradition." And it was before. You could tape stuff, but you know what I mean? It was just, you still tuned in at the night it happened. So when this happened, I remember we watched the show, but it was like a little something different, and it was Halloween themed, and it had the supernatural element, so it was kind of like stood apart. And I love that, and this kicked it off, so that's cool.
It's true. And I always love the opening credits for the Halloween episodes because they change the names, and it's always clever.
And this was where they first had tombstones. So what did they have? The Grateful Dead, Elvis, Ishmael Simpson, or something crazy like that. And that's a good one. So it kicked it off, and then we have a legacy of them for many years to come. And so the next one is the Treehouse of Horror number 2. It
Which
came
is season 3.
Yeah, the next year. And let's take a look.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Before last year's Halloween show, I warned you not to let your children watch, but you did anyway. Well, this year's episode is even worse. It's scarier, more violent, and I think they snuck in some bad language, too. So please, tuck in your children and... Well, if you didn't listen to me last time, you're not going to now. Enjoy the show.
more tombstones.
That's right, more Marge. It's
Yes.
kind of like a sequel to Marge's first step out to warn us about how scary this was going to be. And
We didn't listen.
No, I don't think anyone really listened.
No, obviously. I mean, they're still filming these after.
Mm-hmm.
They're still airing these after 30 years, so
Mm-hmm.
still going strong.
But, you know, pretty much the same format as the first one, other than, you know, Marge just basically tried to warn us and then said, you're going to watch anyway. We get some funny tombstones, Walt Disney, a couple other, Jim Morrison, and there was like a hippie looking
cookies.
Yeah. But then what I really got excited about was the very tail end of it. The Peanuts come running by. So there's the Peanuts there running, and I just mentioned the Peanuts in the first one when we talked about it, and they actually show up in this. So I love that. Hey, Peanuts Halloween, you gotta love it.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's the second one from season 3. Cool.
Ready for more?
Let's do number 3.
Okay.
Good evening. I've been asked to tell you that the following show is very scary, with stuff that might give your kids nightmares. You see, there are some crybabies out there, religious types mostly, who might be offended. If you are one of them, I advise you to turn off your set now. Come on, I dare you. Chicken! Hey,
Homer, did you just call everyone chicken?
no. I swear on this Bible.
That's not a Bible. That's a book of carpet samples.
Ooh, fuzzy.
Good evening. Yes, the first of the actual couch gags that would come. They're in skeleton form, but the Hitchcock cold opening, you gotta love that.
Absolutely. With Homer involved in that, yes. And one of the tombstones said, "I was stupid," and pointed to the tombstone next to it, which, you know, who knows what the backstory beef between those two was, but that was pretty clever.
And then American workmanship, and
Yes,
then the
and
tombstone
it
crumbles in front of their eyes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So I wonder how many people recognize the Alfred Hitchcock cold opening and how that played into the show Alfred Hitchcock Presents. I wonder how many people, like, especially my younger folks,
Right.
might not get that reference because, you know, of course, Alfred Hitchcock was a famous director in the 60s, 70s, and 50s, 40s, you know, for many
He's done that
decades.
for-
Yeah. And then he had that show in the 50s where it was an anthology crime series, and he would come out with that profile and that music every time the
Right.
show began. And that's what they're parroting here. So I love that. But I just wonder how many people recognize that. I'd be curious to know.
Viewers, comment below if you recognize Alfred Hitchcock when Homer does that, or if this is all news to you.
Yep. And if you don't recognize it, check that out. It's old, but it's really good. All right. So I want to get into the next couch gag. This would be from Treehouse of Horrors 4.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it.
Zombies. Love it. The family comes out of the floor and gets on the couch for that one. Again, cemetery opening. So with some familiar headstones with a little change or two, and then the TV violence headstone gets shot up and blood comes out of it, which was appropriate for this, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like it's starting to get like some of them get shorter because they're wanting to get to the show. But hey, we got the couch gags are now kicking in. They're actually on the couch doing cool stuff. So I love it. So
it also, I don't know if it impacted the opening, but it always seemed like some of these would fall right after a football game, and if the football game went longer, they would shorten the opening.
True.
So I don't know if that was really how it was happening or just my perception of it growing up watching these, but some of them felt a lot shorter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because of that.
So, all right. Well, that was 4. We got zombies. Before that, we had skeletons. So keep a note because we're going to say which ones we like the best when we're done here. So let's get into 5.
Okay.
Interchangeable body parts now.
Kind of still with the zombie vibe going on. Just they've interchanged their parts and had some stitches and monster-esque. So that was good. And a few more characters from Springfield show up in the cemetery this round.
Mo, Patty, and Selma.
Yep.
Skinner.
I love Patty and Selma light their cigarettes on the bonfire. They're witches. And,
that they're being burned at, the stake they're being burned at. And then, of course, they kept the tombstones. They kept the cemetery. So that's been a recurring theme. But then they decided, okay, let's just add a few more characters in from the show. And I love that. Just pepper them into this little thing. And then we get our couch gag. Very clever and sets the mood nicely.
Absolutely.
And by now we're in season 6, so the show is like really starting to hum. It's getting its legs under it and just hitting its stride at this point. So they're definitely going to bring other characters in because they know we love those characters.
Absolutely.
All right, well that was 5. We're halfway there, so let's do 6.
Okay.
Now that was a real quick one, but what's more like Halloween-y iconic feel than the Headless Horseman?
I know.
And the Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
That just screams Halloween to me in the season. So of course we got Krusty there flinging it.
It was pretty great.
And the couch gag this time is everyone's hanging.
And they
Can't stop Maggie from hitting that pacifier.
not at all.
I love that one. It was quick to the point, but a lot of fun.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, let's hit the next one.
Okay. The Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
After Homer, I mean, obviously, Homer probably should have seen that coming because he just lit himself on fire while he was lighting his jack-o'-lantern. But the
What did he
Grim
do?
Reaper's hanging.
Have gasoline inside that jack-o'-lantern?
I mean, he does drink a lot of beer. So
Yeah. It's
Alcohol's
alcohol all over his fingers.
coming out of his pores or something. I don't know. Who knows with Homer?
Yep. And then, of course, death. Deaths them all up.
I
Yep.
just have to walk near him on the couch, and then he uses them as a footrest.
Makes sense to me.
Pretty clever.
Go watch a show. Huh, cool. All right, so let's hit the next one.
No. 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 I think we can do without the crack pipe. Oh, hi! As the Fox censor, it's my job to protect you from reality. And thanks to my prudent editing, tonight's special Halloween show has been rated TVG. This means there will be no raunchy NBC-style sex or senseless CBS-style violence. So sit back and enjoy a night of worry-free... What the fudge? Oh, for Pete's sake! Jiminy Christmas! Ah! Darn it!
Hey, we got joined by another one who wanted to watch some couch gag fun.
I guess so. Wanted to know where everybody was, huh?
Yeah, but of course now we have the censor. And this
might
one's
have
going to mess up
another
our...
censor.
Yeah, this one I think is going to censor our computer that we have right here. So I wonder if like the writers were like, we write all this stuff and then the censors come and make changes and they're frustrated by it. And so then they're like, we got to make an opening for our Halloween thing. I don't know. We'll stab the censor to death. And it's like cathartic. They're like working something out.
I bet.
Yeah, that's kind of how that feels. And then, of course, the couch gag.
Yep. Shock therapy. Who knows if it worked, but...
Yeah, doubt it. Yep, all right, well, that's that one. And we're getting close to the last couple. So let's hit it. See you next one.
All right.
I don't get it. They should be here by now.
What are you gonna do?
That was one we just watched recently. So
Yeah, that's the one we covered this season. So it's our newest Treehouse of Horror actual review. And that was 9. And so we just covered that, and you can go watch that. But Freddy and Jason.
Yes. And that's really Freddy Krueger's voice, which makes me happy, which I mentioned in our review of the show as well. But
Robert Englund coming in. Yeah.
Robert's voice. A lot of celebrity voices show up in The Simpsons, and that one makes me happy. So.
And this was notable for having a Halloween twist to the running home montage and the car crushing people and
chalkboard.
The chalkboard gag. Yeah, this was I guess the first time in a Treehouse of Horror they addressed that.
That's true.
So that's kind of cool. All right, so next is Treehouse of Horror X.
Okay.
So I think it's one of the longer ones of it. We haven't covered this one on our channel yet.
Okay.
So that's interesting because this must have been from season 11. We've gone all the way up till 9, and then we peppered some newer ones in. But we haven't covered this one yet, so we are going to watch the couch gag of that. And as I recall, because I put this together, it's kind of got a lot of funny things going on. Okay. So let's do it.
Sounds good.
Live from fabulous Centauri City, it's The Simpsons' 10th Halloween special. Now, please welcome your hosts. If you haven't been probed by these two, you haven't been probed. King and Kodos.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our 10th anniversary show. Oh, we've got a great... King, what are you doing?
You said we were going to warm up the audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have to apologize for my partner. He had to borrow a human brain.
What do aliens have to do with Halloween?
Silence!
If you haven't been probed by these two, you haven't been probed. King and Kodos.
What do aliens have to do with Halloween?
Silence, everybody. And it's funny, in the couch gag, they were all characters, like pieces of past Treehouse of Horror episodes. So Homer is the springy neck guy from that Twilight Zone parody one. Bart's the fly. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Maggie was her alien self. So
Yeah, because Kang is the real father of Maggie in that episode. So clever that they brought all that back. And it's funny how like Kang and Kodos have always been a big part of the Treehouse of Horror, but this was the first time they showed up in the opening couch gag section. So that was good.
that's good.
Telling some lame jokes and
Right. Making me happy for that one. So
good stuff.
that was fun. Did you have a favorite of these 10?
Yes, my favorite has got to be the Freddy and Jason being their couch gag, just because I love throwbacks to pop culture.
That was the last episode that we reviewed. That was the couch gag for that one, and so I mentioned it in that, and I love it completely. But just rewatching these, I'm gonna go with the Patty and Selma lighting up their cigarette while they're being burned at the stake, and that opening, because Bart has a guillotine and he has quite a few heads that he has to hop on, and Skinner gives him the thumbs up before his turn, so it just amuses me.
It's a good one. They bring all those characters in. And my runner-up, though, is the Krusty as the Headless Horseman. Because, like I said before, Sleepy Hollow, that whole Headless Horseman thing, I don't know, that just screams Halloween fall to me for some reason. Always have. Good stuff.
Makes sense.
All right, cool.
Well, good. Thank you for watching. And until next time,
Jiminy Jillikers!
Where do I get the button? Where do I get the button?